Anonymous message to Jamaicans.
Greetings, citizens of Jamaica. This is a message to you from Anonymous. Firstly, congratulations are in order for your 60th year of independence. Though, if this is how your first 60 years are looking, one can only assume a bleak future. At 60 years, your country has the second highest murder rate in the world. For comparison, another country that got independence in 1965, just 3 years after on August 9th, copied the exact economic model of then Jamaica, as it was flourishing. That country is Singapore, and is currently the country with the second lowest murder rate. Singapore started with a GDP of $470 to Jamaica's $460, and they are now at the height of the economical spectrum with a GDP of $66,000 per capita in 2021, compared to Jamaica's $4,000. Using the same economical system, what could have caused such a disparity in the structure of these two nations? Of course, the answer lies with whoever is in the position of power. In 1974, one of the founding members in the framing of the Jamaican Constitution, Mr. Edward Seaga, became leader of the Jamaica Labour Party. A year later, in 1975, an American political consultant by the name of Henry Alfred Kissinger tried to dissuade then Prime Minister Michael Manley from supporting Cuba in their efforts to stop apartheid, but failed. Though the efforts were to stop racial segregation, Mr. Kissinger knew an alliance between Cuba and Jamaica would allow for some amount of Soviet influences, and that would be a big problem for the USA, as we would see later in 1983, when the USA led 6 Caribbean nations, including Jamaica, to invade Grenada because Grenada toppled the government that was heavily funded by America, as it was becoming increasingly corrupted. Capitalism has become such a ruling force in the USA that they needed to push the idea onto other nations, not because of its benefits for the nation, but because it would allow the US to profit off of smaller nations that could otherwise be profitable on their own. Mr. Kissinger failed to remove Mr. Manley's socialist viewpoint, but he also had options, and the resources of the United States. Mr. Kissinger would then convince Mr. Seaga to install a capitalist state, and America would support the Seaga administration. He just needed to be prime minister. To that end, America supplied weapons to supporters of the JLP so that they would incite political violence and intimidate any opposition. This allowed the heavily American-funded JLP to become ruling party with Edward Seaga as the CIA's lapdog. Fast forward to now. The country's main industry, tourism, is mostly capitalized by private non-Jamaican investors. Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee is now an American company, headquartered in the state of Georgia. The National Commercial Bank, and the popular television station, CVM, are owned by the Canadian-based Portland Holding Group. 3 of the 4 bauxite refineries in Jamaica are Russian-owned, with the 4th being split between the US and Jamaica. The US is still a major shareholder in this company. Your sugar cane factories have been outsourced to international private investors. Even your electricity bills are split, with 80% going into the pockets of Japanese and Korean electric companies. Capitalism has revealed the greed in people because it is for profit, and it is designed to give control to those with the most assets. It is designed to keep power and wealth at the top, at all times. This is normally a questionable move to begin with. Now put that kind of system in a country where the ruling class are white slave owners. You get a system like yours, Jamaica, where the government and the bourgeoisie are easily intertwined, and actions claimed to be made in national interest are really made for benefits of those on top, the previously ruling white class who are now living off the fat of their slavery wealth. Well, your slavery wealth, as one of the easiest ways to get rich is to make a man work and not pay him. Your system allows for workers to be underpaid consistently for the amount of work produced. That means the proletariat, you, the working class, who has never had much to begin with, will never have much, and that will get worse with your economy's constant decline, as what they sell you will cost more and what you have will value less. Their greed makes them want to accumulate more, whether it be ethical or otherwise. You can see this happening around you, from utility bill increases in a short span of time, lengthy periods, to even government officials paying themselves erroneous amounts. Your health minister sees your struggles, and your problems with family planning and overpopulation, and decides that what you need is more babies. The government wants you to spend more, to save less, to never accumulate wealth, and always sending it up to them at the top, because your government responds only to the wishes of ruling class. And as they are the ones who control the country, your government is powerless against them. Soon you will see Adam Stewart attempt to integrate himself into the government. Capitalism was always a system that needed proper management, and it doesn't integrate well into some cultures. Its introduction to your shores only give rise to corruption, crime, depletion of resources, and the hoarding of infrastructure. Your country's intelligence will continue to drop, because even the best of education are reserved for the bourgeoisie, where everyone else just gets leftovers. Only one politician has ever been convicted of a crime, although the same crime now will get you paid in a resignation letter. And as the lifestyle of the bourgeoisie become more expensive, they will need to find more ways to extract wealth from your land, from you. They will even find a way to monetize you, the labor force, if they haven't already. You've noticed all the call centers, haven't you? They are even being placed in front of schools, on purpose, and it will be done in the name of opportunities. Capitalism is being used to hide modern-day slavery. Your labor is being used to fatten the pockets of the already wealthy at a mere fraction of its real value, while your contributions and taxes fund policies that are made in the best interest of the upper class. Your existence is merely a means to fund their lifestyle. Their greed will not let them stop, and their control and power in government, law enforcement and media allows them to evade accountability. Which leads well into the second point. We caught wind of the situation concerning the disappearance of Ms. Donna Lee Donaldson. We decided to do our own investigations independent from the lapdogs of corruption, and it turns out we were right to have our reservations, as the narrative being shown to the public is anything but the truth. The truth is that Ms. Donna Lee Donaldson was murdered by District Constable Kathy Ann Smith. She used her power, status and connections to destroy evidence tying her to the crime. She used the media to cover up her tracks, and any allegations made against her, even if they are true. She's now using Constable Noel Maitland as a scapegoat, as a means to save her career, family and reputation, knowing there's not enough evidence to tie him to the murder. He will be a free man, able to live off his career in music. Her career will be saved, and their child keeps both parents. Her act was motivated by jealousy, as she was still romantically involved with Constable Maitland, the father of her child, and it was an act encouraged by her mental disintegration, stemming from her dissociative personality disorder. Her act will go unpunished because her capitalist advantages, and there will be no justice, because Ms. Donaldson is a proletariat, a peasant to those in control, and her body has already been destroyed so it will never be found. Now, Jamaica, you know the truth. If things continue like this, it will only get worse, and those in power will always have the resources to evade mere discomfort, leaving its citizens to suffer. We, at Anonymous, can only help by shedding light on the scandalous actions happening behind the scenes. The rest is up to you. But rest assured that we are everywhere, for we are legion, and to the government of Jamaica, we do not forgive, we do not forget, so you can expect us.